Live from the Pods, your favorite East Texas sports podcast, coming at you live today. We have a special guest join us tonight. We have the head coach of Houston, Jack Yates, Ralph Thomas, on here with us today. He had the pleasure of being my coach also in high school for a stint of time, and we got to grow up watching this guy do some amazing things on the football, baseball field, and the track. Coach Ralph, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all having me. You've been talking about this for a little bit, so you
I
called
think
it.
you put this together in under 30 minutes.
Most definitely, and that's just what it is. We're family. Anytime y'all call, I'm gonna pick up and make it happen.
I appreciate you so much, and that's what I was telling the other guys. I'm trying to get I normally have them here to get the live and stuff all going, but I literally I text you, you called, and we put it to make it happen, and those guys were I called them. I was like, y'all want to join? And we got a chance to get them on here, and they were like, well, hell, we only got 10 minutes. I was like, well, that's all I need. I'm going for it.
Nah,
But let's see. I get this live going. Okay, I think it's working on Twitter. I don't know what's going on Instagram, so we'll roll with Twitter right now. But let's talk a little bit about where you started at, in your sport career. Starting off in Lufkin, and tell us about a little bit about you before we get started talking about your team.
Oh man, my big thing. As I got older, a quote that I live by is, work in silence and let the results speak for itself. Everybody from Lufkin knows my athletic background. I don't have to explain that too much for people back home, but for the purposes of your question, Lufkin, I started out playing a lot of baseball. I didn't really even play football when I was really young. I was a straight baseball kid. I was always fast, and I finally, got the middle school, start playing football, high school,
I
turned
think
into
Reggie McNeil just said the same thing in a podcast. He
yeah.
grew up playing nothing but baseball, and then he got to junior high, and that's when his football career kind of started.
And you know what's wild? I tell people, and they look at me crazy when I tell them, baseball kind of helps you prepare for football in more ways than not, because it's a mental game. Football is a controlled chaos type of game.
Yeah,
Baseball, you have to be cool, calm, and collected for the most part because it's you're playing chess with
yeah.
every pitch, every inning, every at bat, and that's just what it is. And ball skills and things like that, and learn to judge ball, gauge ball, all that translates to football, and the toughness of standing in that box, and you can probably get hit in the head with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. It takes a different type of cat to do that, and you see a lot of kids can go from baseball, can go play other sports, but you take other sports and tell them to come swing a baseball bat, you find out how athletic people really are. Um, but
You see that a lot, like where you're in the Houston area. You see that a lot. You got guys out there throwing 96 on Saturday and Friday night. They're throwing for 300 yards, or you know, they're just they're freak. It takes it like you were basically like what I'm saying is, I put you on a football field. I tell you to run down the field and catch the ball. You can do it if you're an athlete.
right,
If I
for
put you on a
sure,
baseball
for
field and I
sure.
say I want you to hit this baseball coming 90 miles per hour, it's a lot different. Or if I
Right,
put
oh,
you in the
most
outfield
definitely, and
and I
people,
say, "Hey, I want you to catch this baseball," that's fly, it's hanging in the air coming down. It's a lot different. But
yeah, and you have the chance to crash into the wall while you catch it. Good luck.
exactly, lack of communication can put you in the middle of an outfield wall.
Right. Yeah, I've had this debate many days. People don't want to hear it, but baseball athletes are some different cats. Seriously,
Oh yeah, look how many games they play in the season.
yeah, most definitely. But I didn't try to get too far off your question, but I was obviously, I was All American in high school in baseball, All State in football. I was there back when Lufkin, which is kind of always been Lufkin. We had a few down years, and I say we because I am a Lufkin Panther. That's where I graduated from. That's where I'll be buried. That's where I was born and raised. But we grew up in those days where Lufkin was rolling, kind of to build that name of what people think of Lufkin now, based on what the classes before me, about 4 or 5 years before me, up until after we left, where the town shut down to go watch the Lufkin Panthers, and guys like yourself looked up to kids like us playing on Friday nights. And I tell our kids here, man, I didn't have a favorite, football player, NFL guy growing up. My favorite
Yeah,
guys played on
it
Friday.
was on play for the Lufkin Panthers.
My favorite guys played for the Lufkin Panthers on Friday nights. I didn't care about guys in the NFL because, the Panthers were the NFL to us.
Dude, I was telling somebody the same thing yesterday. I can't remember who it was, but I think the last time Lufkins played at home on a Saturday in a playoff game was 2010-11 season when they played Klein.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was probably, what's that, six something, seven? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. I was young,
Yeah.
And I was in middle school actually because my brother was a senior probably. Yeah, I was like sixth grade then. And like I remember that very like I remember every bit of that. Like, I remember waking up that morning, like going to get a haircut,
Yeah.
coming home, sitting at the computer in the living room, listening to Ti. You can have whatever you like, and then my mom telling me to turn it off, get in the car, and we got to the game probably like 2 hours early, hour early, whatever. And the visitor side was purple. I think we played Klein that year.
Mm-hmm.
We played Klein that year. They had a running back. He either I think he went to Nebraska. I can't think of his name, but visitor side's purple. Then you look at the home side, it's nothing but purple.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's out there cooking, tailgating, like everybody's at this game, And then, you go to this year, it's 2024, and we're playing a home playoff game Saturday. Lufkin has, is it Millsby?
Milby. Mm-hmm.
Milby at
Which
1 o'clock.
HISD representing.
Do they travel pretty well?
We'll find out. They haven't been to playoffs in like 20 years. So
okay, so this is historic for them too. So,
yeah.
Like this is a big deal, and like I don't like a lot of people, probably gonna watch it at home on YouTube or whatever. But like, I don't think there's like I have Dancing with the Stars Saturday,
mm-hmm.
and it was gonna drive me nuts if I was gonna have to miss this game because it could have been at 6 o'clock or it could have been on Friday, and we had dress rehearsal scheduled for Friday, and then I see it's released. We're playing at 1 o'clock, so that means I'm there at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
in the morning. We're there. We're going to tailgate. We're going to set up. I think we get to put the helmet up this game. So like, it's a big deal for us, not only for these kids.
Right. And that's how it needs to get back to. I get, everybody has convenience of watching stuff online now. And I tell our kids here, we live in a microwave society. Everybody wants convenient, quick, and easy. And that's what these, podcasts like y'all's and streaming services allow people to just sit at home on their couch and they don't have to go do it, which I understand that. You do it with you, but those kids in this community deserve, the Lufkin of what it used to be because they have no excuse this year. They're winning. So
I drove to Galveston.
Right. There's no excuse.
I wasn't gonna miss the chance to not watch these kids win a district championship.
Most definitely. And you can't keep talking about, the what ifs and if they lose and that, but they're not losing. So if you're committed like you say you are, if you're a Panther like you say you are, get up off the couch and go support these kids.
That's absolutely. So I want you to touch on the story of your career when you were in high school. You went and ran in a track meet and then went and played in a playoff baseball game.
Yes, that was the second round of the playoffs for baseball. We were playing Georgetown. It all worked out to where we played them Friday at home, and then Saturday we played in Georgetown.
So it's only a 30-minute drive from Austin where you're running at.
Right. So we, it's tight ball game. We're down one. I think I hit a leadoff double to get us going, and we needed to score. So we were down two, and I ended up scoring. Johnny Gomez came up and he hit a double, and we had a pinch runner for him. And at this point, got 2 outs, and they ran the old hidden ball trick, spin around, fake it, throw it to the outfield, and it worked. I won't say the guy's name because he's a good friend, but that's how my high school baseball career ended on that play.
Are you serious?
No joke.
Who was coaching then? Was it?
That was Coach Barry.
That was Barry. Okay, I thought it was Barry.
That was Coach Barry's second year. That was his second year.
What he had to say about that?
But I didn't have time to kind of react to it because literally I got in the car. I shook Coach Barry's hand, told guys before the season and everything in that nature. But And I got in the car, went to Austin, got there 30 minutes before my race. Coach Early met me at the gate, gave me my uniform, and went and ran in 100 meters at the state meet.
Did you have to like stretch your warm up, or you already ready to go?
I mean, when you're young, you just gotta kind of get out there and do it. I did a couple stretches, and adrenaline,
Yes.
adrenaline to carry you a long way, especially at that age. But yeah, I ended up going out there competing and running. So
I don't know. Obviously I wouldn't have had the chance to go run in a state championship 100-meter race. That wasn't going to happen for me anyways. I wasn't a track athlete. I wasn't nowhere near a track athlete, but you got to go down as one of the most athletic players in Lufkin history. And also you got to go down as Texas as one of the most athletic coaches. I see you talk about that a lot on your Twitter about being one of the most athletic coaches. And, there ain't many coaches that have done that.
right, most definitely. Lufkin, I lead that debate to everybody else. I had a good career in high school and did some things that the good Lord blessed me with ability to do. But as far as coaches, yeah, I'll tell you right now, I'm the most athletic coach in the state. It's not even
What
close.
about what about Javante Ellington? He line up anywhere close to you as a coach as athleticism?
Hey man, don't be disrespectful.
Like you kind of he is kind of a walking image of you.
Right, for sure, for sure. Hey, that's my guy. I love that kid, man. And what's crazy is Javante had a plan when back even in high school. He used to always say, "I'm gonna be a coach one day, and I'm gonna coach just like you." Like,
He is one of the only, well, he's grown now, but kids I know that could have a 99 in college calculus, college algebra, and like everybody's like, "What are you gonna do? Finance or something?" I'm gonna be a football coach.
right, no
Like
joke.
he always had that plan, so you can't, you got to respect it.
Mhm.
So as we touch over to Yates, tell us a little about I know about Yates. I know a little bit about Yates. I remember they came and played Lufkin in basketball when they had that guy. I don't know much about basketball, but
Mhm.
he was held basketball player. He came and played us at Lufkin, and that's when I kind of learned a little bit oh, Yates is it's a very historic program.
Mhm. Man, Yates is the first inner city school um, to win a UIL state championship back in 1985.
Okay,
They've played in three, and even before UIL, they had the PVIL, the Prairie View Interscholastic League, was the black high schools essentially, and they won four of those state championships. So it's a grand total of five football state championships here. At one point, Yates had ran off, I want to say like 30 straight district championships uh, in HISD. Just an incredible accomplishment. And, and it kind of, went downhill for a little bit. But the history and the aura of the program has always remained. Everybody knows Jack Yates.
yeah.
And we have a very passionate fan base that wants to get back to winning. And I'm doing everything in my power to rebuild this program, and we're on the right path.
So you get to Yates in 2022-2023 season, correct?
Right.
So you said you got there. I think you had like 2 months before football season or a month.
Yeah, it was like 6 weeks. I got hired. I got hired July the 5th, and
So, so
and
you go 5-6,
right,
but you were 5-2 in district that year, right?
we were
So
five.
where's that? So where'd that put y'all? Where'd y'all fall at? Y'all got third in district,
We
correct?
we got third. We were predicted to get fourth, and we got a spot ahead of that. So we took
So y'all
that out.
made the playoffs.
We did.
So was that like the first year in a while Yates had made the playoffs, or is that
No. Yates has. I don't think Yates has missed the playoffs.
okay?
In the history, I want to say somebody will probably correct me on that, but um, we had been going in as the 4 seed over and over, just kind of getting by. But I came in with a different approach, different plan. Obviously, I didn't have long to get ready for a
You got
season,
6 weeks
right? And had to go play Dallas Carter game one. Congratulations, coach. Figure it out.
on the road.
No, we played them in Houston. Yeah,
That's right. Y'all went
uh,
to Skyline. Was that last year?
yeah, we went to Carter last year. Yeah,
Carter, yeah.
yeah.
So 6 weeks. That's
Yeah.
what
So
do you do? You can't change anything.
No, and we started. What's crazy about this is we started 0-3 that season. And the bye week, I just kind of went back to the drawing board. We made some adjustments. I sat down and talked to our coaches, in which, unlike a lot of places, we don't get the 15, 20 man coaching staffs here. We don't. Yes, we're the biggest district in the state of Texas, so we have to pay a lot of guys. So, and it's school based, so you have to kind of balance that teacher coach ratio, things like that. So you can't get a staff of 15, 20 guys. We get 7 guys, and I only have 5 because those are the guys I started with. I brought Coach Ritt in from Longview. I like staff cohesion. I don't like a lot of toxicity and things like that. But like I said, we have 5 guys. We make it work. But back then, we went to the drawing board at our bye week. We changed up our offense. We changed up defense, and we finished that season. Our last 7, we went 5-2.
That's 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 a hell of a stat right there. So
Most good.
we go over to 23, 24. That's last year, I guess. So y'all were 8-3, 6-1 in district. You get second place in district. So we're going from third place to second place. We're making progress. So
Right.
you had more than 6 weeks this season to go in and make some changes.
Be good. They get auto sensors on the lights, man. My bad.
Oh, so we go in the season. We got more than 6 weeks, like I said, to make some changes, and I get to mold my team, change things up, like you said, get to actually be the team I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets us second in district this season, and let's what changed that year?
We got to go through an off season. These kids hadn't really experienced an off season. You'd be amazed how much that we are used to back home that is foreign down here. So we got to instill an off season, even though we only got to see our kids 2 days a week in the athletic period. It's not like back home we see them every day.
Fifth period. You got 10. You got, was it 5 or 8 minutes to get dressed? If not, you about to bear crawl.
Oh man, you have a lot of things working against you, and you complain about it and do whatever you want to say, but it's not going to mean anything. But and then that off season, I established, our core values and things like that. Our slogan that you see all the time.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Yeah,
Us, is it us versus us?
yeah,
Right?
yeah. We'll hit on it. We put in, evaluating the kids all season, evaluating our community and things of that nature, and what fit us the best. And I just felt like it was us versus us, which honestly breaks down to, you break each one of those words down. You know, you get UVU at the beginning if you take us versus us, which is ultimately what it is. Us versus us, it starts with you versus you. And you have to overcome, buying into the triple S, that self-serving system. Because I felt like we were our biggest battle. We lost the battle so many times on the practice field, in the classroom, in the community, things that we control. That's the
Yeah.
the big thing of us versus us, is controlling the controllable. And I just felt like that was a great thing for us to kind of understand, to where if we could defeat our bad habits and defeat us every day and overcome everything outside of here that we want to say, we got this going on, that going on, missing practice for this, missing practice for that, all these different excuses and outliers, like, we could be really good. And that's kind of what we ran with, which carried over to putting in our core values, which were based around time, which is, like I said, the us versus us part of our kids coming up with all these different reasons that they can't do things. But, we spoke on time, which was number one was, time is not promised. 2 was time's more valuable than money. 3 was manage it. 4 was time deserves a why, and 5 was time is everything, which each one of those is a play on different things that our kids had to write down and put into play every day, and understand what they play. Like you say, deserves a why. Who do you play for? Manage it. Learn how to manage your time. Stop giving me every reason you can't do something and procrastinating. 2, money. Yeah, money is great, but it's not everything. Time is more valuable than money. It's that simple. Because when you are on that deathbed, you want more money or more time. a lot of people are going to pick more time. It just is what it is, which got to time is everything to cap it all off. And those are things that we put in. And you hear people say, "Well, that type of stuff won't work in the inner city." Da, da, da. Man, kids are kids, no matter where you go. Kids want structure. Kids want you to be on them. They want that father figure. They want that guy that they can lean on and turn to. And I mean, these kids are running through a wall for us now, but we had to build that relationship.
And like you said, being in the inner city, like I'm from Lufkin. Went to Lufkin. Like I don't know anything about the inner city really. I went to Cy Ranch for a year, but that's not the inner city really.
Right.
But like, when you come into a program like that and structure and somebody like you that's not always been there with these kids, it's hard for those kids to one believe and trust in you.
Mm-hmm.
And we got 6 weeks until we play football. Like we don't know this guy.
Right.
We can look him up. We can hear about him and stuff. But like all this stuff he's coming in talking about now, changing and like we're not used to this. So it's it takes a while for kids to want to buy into something like that. But when they see it, like the proof is in the pudding, why not buy into something like that? Why not be a part of something like that? Why not want to make a change? He's trying to help me not also become a better athlete, but he's trying to make me be a better person, trying to prepare me for the future. And, being from Lufkin and like East Texas, I think a lot of coaches have that effect on kids. There's probably so many stories that are behind closed doors of like what coaches in this area do for kids outside of football, and we've seen it, like not every kid has the perfect, platter at home,
Yeah.
So, some of the only father figures they have are these coaches. And that's something like I see a lot in our area. And like, you going to Houston and taking that with you is like, the coaches not only, want you to win on the football field, but they want you to be successful after you leave Lufkin. I think one of the biggest things is when kids go to a college or go somewhere at the next level and like you get a group of kids from Lufkin or Yates or somewhere, they can always look back and be like, well, they got coached by, they were groomed by good people, that's good stuff. They came out of Lufkin, they came out of Yates, that's like Longview also, King, like those guys prepare these kids for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how y'all, so like inner city, like HISD, all that, y'all are all right by each other, correct?
I mean, it's yes and no. We're pretty close. Yes is I would say yes.
And like these kids are exposed to inner city life of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you as a coach, how do you keep these kids focused and wanting to be a part of, Yates football, Yates school and all this stuff?
Man, you have to celebrate your kids every chance you can get. Like I said, these kids come from different backgrounds. I was that kid, so I can relate to these kids. I think that's what helps a lot as well. Is I grew up a lot like these kids, even though I was in Lufkin. My situation was a lot like a lot of these kids. So at the end of the day, these kids want you to be honest and open with them and be there for them because what can you say to a coach that you see is the same person every day? He's going to bat for us every day. He's online, promoting the brand, promoting the program. He's promoting us, and he's a living testament of what he's asking us to do. Which is like back when I was in Lufkin. Remember, I used to jump in there and work out with y'all.
Oh yeah.
Like it's basically be about what you ask the kids. And even so much, I'll go a step further. And I never even really told this. A lot of people don't even know. Like, especially year one, my family wasn't even here because I got this job so late. So I was driving back and forth from East Texas to Yates. Like after we play a game, I'm going to see my wife and kids. Uh, I mean, I drove over 30,000 miles in 2 years uh, to make this thing work. And at the same time, these kids never missed out on anything. So it's kind of hard to look at somebody and not want to play for that when he is doing everything in his power to make sure we get the best that we can get. And that's my big thing when I got here. We're going to make this program just like every other program because when we look in the mirror and stop comparing ourselves to anybody else, you'll see like we might not have everything everyone else has, but Our football field is still 100 yards. Our weight room, the weights the weigh the same as they weigh out in Katy or wherever else you want to name. It's the same. So what are you going to do to make this work? And it's that simple.
I think Coach, I don't, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I think Coach Todd from South Oak Cliff made a statement at coaching course somewhere. I remember hearing about it that his kids practiced on concrete.
Yeah. Like we now year, year one, we practice in the parking lot because we don't have lights at our field. So the playoff season roll around, it's daylight savings time. So we don't have lights. So we did walkthroughs in the parking lot, which and that's not even our district's fault. It's just the way our schedules were set up, it was just more convenient to do it like that. Then now our district does a great job. They'll bus us over to a stadium for playoff practices and stuff like that. But that's just kind of some of the things that was different and you had to adapt to coming from somewhere where you're set up like a Lufkin. You appreciate it more when you see something else.
Like, I don't know, like, aren't you worried about injuries on that? You got to do what you got to do.
Well, we ain't out there tackling or anything. I mean, we're basically doing walkthroughs and basically jogging through stuff. We're not out there, 11 on 11 and stuff like that. But that's just what it is, and it's not a feel bad for us story or nothing like that. It's just basically you are in control of your situation. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with the cards you dealt with? Figure it out.
That's nuts. But I want to I want to ask you about that. Like South Oak Cliff this year, I think they scheduled who they scheduled. They scheduled North Shore, Longview,
I think
Duncanville.
Yeah, they always play a tough pre-district, and I understand why he does it, and he has a team to do that.
And it gets them ready for this time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Vontae went to Dallas last year, and we got to watch. We've been the last couple of years the state championship game. I think we sat with you last year, actually.
Yeah.
But like, you watch like all the stories that this guy tells about this program, like like where they came from, where they're at now and stuff. And it's like these kids are inner city kids, also in the way they buy in, and like they're so like when they come out, they're on the line, they're disciplined. Everything's just rolling, and it's just like. These guys are just practicing in a parking lot, just kind of like Yates was. like this season, you go 8-2 this year, 7-1 in district, finished second place in district. Like you put 60 on somebody, didn't let them score. Was that Cashmere?
Yeah, man. We've been playing
44 really- up on Washington, put 68 up on Northside. None of these teams scored. Hold on. Madison didn't score. Scarborough didn't score. Y'all playing some defense.
Yeah, I mean, at one point we had the number 3 defense in the state. We've been buying. Coach Ritt's been doing a good job offense.
Yeah, like offense putting up points too.
Like I said, man, it's on the right path. It's headed in the right direction. And like I said, these kids are bought in. And we have 19. We'll have 19 seniors next year and 9 sophomores returning. So a lot of these kids are coming back next year.
But don't forget about your 2 losses. You lost by 2. You lost by 2, and you lost by 1.
Yeah, we've lost by a combined 3 points this year. We lost the district championship by 1 point. I wasn't going to speak on that because I wasn't trying to speak on like moral victories, but we have been in every ball game. We're year 3, and you're starting to see it trend in the right direction.
Do you still have the same quarterback from when you got there?
No.
He left last year, right?
He left last year. And
what about the tight end?
He's still here. Jordan's still here.
So you still have the tight end because I don't know many of the players, but I see a lot of y'all. I see y'all post y'all's recruitment like crazy. So I see a lot of the kids. So you got Navasota this week. Where y'all playing them at?
In Katy at Rhodes Stadium, Friday at 7 p.m.
So you tell me a little bit about this game. Like Navasota, only time I remember Navasota is when they had Trendavian Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
And that kid from Crowley is on the way to break his record.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, man, it's a great test. You get to playoff season, it's win or go home, and we match up with the toughest region in 4A, year
I
in
see. Is
year
it
out.
what is it? We got Vidor, Kilgore, Needville,
Hmm.
Houston Fur, Little Cypress, Mauriceville, Lindale, uh,
Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill. They're always good. Stafford. They're always good.
Huh?
Pine Tree, Bridge City, Worthing. Worthing's y'all's district champion, right?
Right.
So
Um,
there's some guys on this side of the bracket.
Most definitely, and we match up. Like I said, Navasota it's like a lot like Yates when you come to like, or a lot like Lufkin when you talk about one horse town, full of tradition, headed back in the right direction. You
Who's the
know,
coach over there now? Is it
I think it's Trey Allen is his name. I
I'm
want to say
thinking about the coach that was there, I guess, back in the day, the one that went to Casal.
nah. This coach, this is his first year there. This is
Okay.
here in Navasota. He's doing a great job. They look impressive on film. They have a uh, especially with their line play, they have some good sized kids. But our kids are going to go out for 4 quarters and battle and compete, and we're going to give them everything we got.
So that's a Friday night game, right?
Yes, yes,
So y'all
seven
play on
p.m.
Friday. So do y'all like? I remember somebody saying something like HISD can't leave squirrely.
Yeah, it's that's a long, lengthy answer. It depends. That's what it is. And I'll leave it at that.
So are we going? We gonna get to playing in Katy. That's like what 30 minutes for y'all.
Uh, you got to count in Houston traffic and all
Oh yeah.
that. So more 45 minutes ish, uh, with traffic.
You got 19 seniors coming back next year
Yep,
and
and we got
nine
four.
sophomores coming.
Uh-huh.
So these kids like they've seen the playoffs before. Like they know what it takes. They're prepared for it. Like it's nothing new to most of these kids on this team.
No, this group, the junior class has been with the junior and senior class. Well, we'll put it this way: the junior class is I'm the only coach they've seen. The
Okay.
sophomore, junior class on down, I'm the only coach they've seen at Yates for high school football. The sophomore class, which is the our good tight end Jordan, um, we I got them their sophomore year and going forward. That's who they've had. So a lot of these kids, they've had me for the entirety of their high school career, and that's part of building a program. Like I said, those juniors, I played 17 of them on varsity. My first year here, so I played 17 freshmen on the varsity, and now they're juniors, about to be seniors, and I think everybody's starting to kind of see where this
Yeah.
program is headed.
17 freshmen playing on varsity.
Most definitely.
That's
Hey,
probably a state record.
you got to build it. It is what it is. You can go in there and think, well, we're going to lose. Well, or you can just go coach up kids for your program. Don't worry about the wins and losses. Build. Work. Focus on building, and all that stuff takes care of itself.
Do you think like obviously what you just said answers the question, but like taking 17 kids that were freshmen and getting them that exposure and getting to see the field and on Friday nights at that young of a age, do you think that prepares them differently than most teams when they get to this point of the season?
Yes, because it's one of those deals where I could have had a JV or freshman team, let those guys play down and just kind of play with what I had that were upperclassmen. But where we're trying to get to as a program, and that's getting to Jerry World one day. Um, you had to start with those kids. They are the foundation layers. They're the foundation builders, and that's where we set a plan and we stuck with it. And people called us crazy, and now we're kind of seeing the reward of that. And like I said, going forward, we have some kids that are looking forward to this playoff season, but furthermore, next year when all those kids are seniors and kind of they've seen it all now. Now the next thing to do is take that next step and get over that first round playoff hurdle, which Yates hasn't done in like 14, 15 years. So that's kind of what we're up against this year and going forward. It just let's win a playoff game. I'm tired of, I don't care about the moral victories of, 8-2, and that's good for the inner city. Like, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
They care about, did you do it or did you not? Like, not, well, that's good for inner city school. That's good for the. I hate that mindset. Like, let's just go do it.
So we got Navasota. You got Navasota Friday night. You know, that's a big game for you guys. Any game in the playoffs is a big game for any team. And, I wish y'all nothing but the best. And I hope y'all have a great postseason. Be nice to get to catch a game, a Yates game. If Lufkin's not playing or, a different day or something, I might try my best to get down there and catch a game. I'm hoping Lufkin's playing in Christmas time, going into Christmas time. I hope both teams are playing. I hope, my goal is to be at Jerry World on Friday and getting ready to watch Lufkin play, because I think we'll have that Friday game.
Yeah.
We'll have that Friday game, the Friday night game. So I would, that's what I look forward to. I'm extremely excited for this Lufkin team and this Yates team because, I support you, but I just hope it all works out. Lufkin has they have a bracket that's going to, be tough, but I think these kids are prepared for it. Like, I've watched a lot of Lufkin football, and like this season, like Quincy QT stepping in and becoming the quarterback, and he's done a great job of playing quarterback for Lufkin. And Keyshawn, I think his name's Keyshawn Waters, the running back.
Yeah.
He's done a great job running the ball, and that offensive line at Lufkin is blocking. They're blocking. We're running the ball behind that offensive line very well, but
shout out to Coach Cook and
Coach Green, all those guys, and getting those guys ready, for the playoffs. And I'm ready. I can't stop talking about it. Like, I'm so ready to go to this game Saturday.
I got you. I get it, man. It's 3 years. I think, was it 3 years? Lufkin had been in the playoffs. So I mean, yeah, it's time, and I'm excited to follow their progress. Although I'm more concerned with what's
going on Yates football.
with Yates football, but
I understand that.
It's great to see what Coach Quick, the turnaround, and that he's been saying was coming with this senior class. So I'm proud to be from Lufkin. I'm proud of their success this year, and I wish them the best.
I got another question for you. Does Yates play baseball?
Yeah,
you have a baseball team. Are you affiliated with the baseball team?
No, I'm not.
Football.
It takes a lot. Football, building it year round here, especially with how far behind we were when I took over. It's a 365 job.
I see Yates has a water polo team.
They do. They just got that this year. A couple schools in HISD got
Have you got a chance to check that out yet?
I hadn't, because it's during our season. So
okay.
They're playing. There's whatever. I don't even know what their matches or games, or a lot of times during the week while we're practicing, or on the weekend while we're up here working. And so it just it didn't really work out for us to go check them out. But it'd be pretty cool to get out there and watch that.
Yeah, Monte had sent that to me, and I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in HISD, like that's huge.
Yeah, for sure. You're giving kids more, exposure to different things that a lot of people say, you can't do that in the inner city. It's a lot of things you can do if you have the right support system and a lot of people on board with the mission.
Well, Coach Ralph, I thank you for coming on today, and I hope Yates keeps the us versus us mentality going this season, and y'all have a long road in the playoffs and maybe get to bring a state championship back to Houston. I know that'd be awesome for you. And like I said, if I can catch a game when Lufkin's not playing, I'm going to try my best to come watch you guys play. But I thank you for taking the time out to come on Live from the Pines. We've been trying to do this for a long time. It's been a couple. I think it's been almost a year. I've been reaching out to you, trying to, you've been busy. You got football and stuff, and the nights we record, y'all are practicing and stuff. So when you called me, I was like, 11 o'clock, I can be ready. So, I thank you for doing this for us. It means a lot. Good luck to you guys, and keep us updated. Let us know what's going on with Yates football. We'll be following and supporting. But I hope y'all are healthy and successful playoff run.
Yes, sir, man. Wish you the best, big dog. I appreciate it.
Before we tune out, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Zilker Belts. Use discount code PINES936 on all online orders to receive 25% off. And go give my man, Coach Ralph, a follow on Twitter and, follow those Jack Yates football team and wish him a good season. Thank you, Coach Ralph.
Yes, sir.